Peter.
Yeah, I was wondering if you knew, like, you know when the GMC gets abolished, you know, Greater Manchester,
Yeah.
will Manchester be part of Lancashire again?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Don't think so.
I was also wondering if you knew that Man United were going to win the league.
I neither know nor care.
And Liverpool were going to get relegated.
I neither know nor care.
Why
I
not?
really don't care. I cannot imagine anything more boring than standing on a terrace in the pouring rain, freezing cold, watching 22 fairies kick a bag of wind about.
But what if it's sunny?
What if it's sunny? It's still 22 fairies kicking a bag of wind. Anyone that goes to football is, in my humble opinion, a pleb. How do Anne?
Hello,
Hello, Anne.
I'm the divvy that you've been talking about tonight.
Am I indeed?
Yeah, you said I was a divvy because I admired Margaret Thatcher last night.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
I don't give
Surely
a
you
damn
don't
what you
think
believe.
You don't? You don't believe in Margaret Thatcher, do you?
Believe in her?
Yeah.
She isn't a god, you know.
She's a marvel.
Yes, you said so last
Shall I tell
night.
you a few more things, or do you want
You
to
didn't tell me
know
any last
now?
night.
You didn't want to know.
All you did last night
She's
was...
an absolute Wonder Woman.
All you did last night was
What,
agree...
with the people that
Shut up!
claiming...
All you did last night was agree that she is a liar.
claiming...
I will not have a conversation with somebody that will only use their mouth and not their ears, and indeed has not the ability to use the bit in the between called a brain.
You.
If you want a conversation, you can have one. If you want a diatribe, I suggest you do it to your husband.
Oh.
Which is
you
it?
shut up for a minute.
Good night, Anne. You will never be on this programme again. Hello to Sandra.
Hello, Alan. Another theory about Boxing Day.
Go on.
This is one that I remember being told at school many years ago. At Christmas, lots of people visit relatives and friends, sometimes travelling many miles and sometimes staying for
You're not
a
going to
day.
tell me to go in a box, are you?
No. No, Boxing Day was the day after the Christmas festivities, so they packed their boxes ready to go home again to make the journey home.
Yeah,
That's what my teacher told me in junior
well, I think
school.
she was having you on. That's the weediest one so far,
Well,
Sandra.
it might be the right one.
It might well be, but it's still the weediest. All right, Sandra. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
So what have we had so far? It's the day when they empty the boxes at church, the collection boxing at church. It's the day when the apprentices get their boxes, their Christmas boxes. It's the day when everybody opens their Christmas boxes, and it's the day when your relatives pack up and go home. It sounds like worth a party at the very least. It's very nearly news time. If you want to join us after the news, you're more than welcome. Yes, I know we've missed the melodic moment, but we'll squeeze it in when we can between 1 and 2, probably about 1:15. That is, if you're one of the people that like the melodic moment. I must say that I am, because it gives me time for a whittle.
Red Rose Radio.
The 1 o'clock news, this is Bill Bingham.
Red Rose Radio.
Welcome to the final hour of Beswick. It's very nearly 5 minutes past 1. If you want to join us on the phone in, you're more than welcome. The number's Preston 56 1000.
Allan Beswick.
How do to Ron?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
It's not what I want to talk about, but I thought everybody knew that Boxing Day was so called because that was the day the kids got their ears boxed for breaking the Chrissy present.
that's probably the real reason. Go on.
What I want to say is that you were talking last night about Russia being a totalitarian state and America being a democracy because Russian people were not allowed to leave the country. I don't suppose you knew at that time what has become evident today, that American citizens, after the last trouble with Libya, visiting Libya and having a Libyan visa in their passports, are liable to a heavy fine or a maximum of 5 years imprisonment.
Well, first of all, Ron, I was aware of that information today. Obviously, I wasn't aware of it last night.
I wasn't either.
But I did not say last night that America was a, what was the word you used? A democracy.
Yeah.
Although, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
I did say that Britons are permitted to travel to any country in the world that will have them by virtue of the freedoms they have and the rights they have for being Britons. I didn't talk about America in that context at all.
I beg your pardon, I thought you did. The only thing is, of course, while I'm talking to you, you know, it says little for America as a democracy, doesn't it?
Yes and no. The Americans deal with things rather differently than we do. The American government is rather more authoritarian than our government.
You think so?
I know so. We have evidence there.
I shouldn't have thought that.
America is a very authoritarian government.
Yeah, I know that the written constitution gives them far more power, but it also diminishes the power in many ways.
It gives the people certain rights.
Yes.
Gives them the right of, well, first of all, it gives the press very large rights. But the country itself is very, very arrogant in the way it treats other countries and the way it treats its own people sometimes, or small sections of its own people.
Yeah, that's very true. But, you know, I don't know. I had some things I was going to say, but they've gone, of course, like these things usually do go.
Yes.
As you know. There's one thing I must tell you about my parrot. It had its beak knocked off. No, it's quite serious.
I'm sure it is. It can't eat.
And actually, it's been voted now. The parrot most likely to succeed.
Ta-ra!
Ta-da.
How do, Phil?
Hello, Alan. You're going to be absolutely thrilled to bits to receive the definitive explanation.
Oh.
No, silence, I say. Silence.
Go ahead.
This is it. It is historically not, you won't believe this, it's not the day after Christmas Day. Historically, Boxing Day was the first weekday after Christmas Day, and this was the day on which Christmas boxes or Christmas presents were given out.
Where do we glean this information?
We gleaned this. Well, in fact, when I heard the question come on the radio, I immediately nipped out of bed and ran downstairs, and I consulted my Encyclopedia Britannica, which didn't mention it. And, so I'm going to sue them for my money back.
So you've got this from live letters in the Daily Mirror. Hey.
No, the old codgers, actually. No, I'll tell you, this comes, in fact, from the smaller brother of one of your standbys. It's from the shorter Oxford English Dictionary.
The shorter Oxford English Dictionary.
You know,
Well,
my bookshelf won't accommodate the larger.
No, not many people.
A 2-volume shorter.
Not many people's bookshelf will accommodate the larger.
That's very, very true.
Anyway, that's it. Boxing Day is the first weekday after Christmas, so we've all got it wrong anyway.
After Christmas, the day on which presents were traditionally given was this day, and the term has been in the language since 1849, or to put it another way, just before 10 to 7.
Right. Well, all I can say, Phil, is there seems to be a thread of agreement, and tenuous it may well be, but a thread of agreement that Boxing Day is the day when presents are given.
Yeah.
What day Boxing Day is seems to be confused, and also we don't do that anymore anyway.
That's true.
So it's all very confusing. I'm beginning to get a headache. Anyway, it's 1:10. Thank you very much, Phil.
All right, bye-bye.
So there we are. So says the shorter Oxford English Dictionary, which is a word that has in it awful lots of words appertaining to midgets. Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Alan.
Yep.
That gentleman that was on the phone last night said to you, do you remember anything that was you tried to get back on you? I remember one that said, one gentleman phoned up to you and said, blah, blah, about this girl, and said, well, my sister's done this, my sister's done this. And you said, well, why doesn't your sister phone up? I don't want to be sordid or anything. And he said, well, she's dead. And you said, well, that's as good a reason as any. I thought that was pretty good.
well, that was hardly getting back on me, but it does certainly ring a bell. I remember that call.
Oh, yes. I thought that was the best laugh that's ever happened on your phone.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Ta-ra! What a wicked fellow you are, Stephen.
It's the place to come where shopping can be done.
Traders at the New Market and the M2 Market have a little something to clear up.
You see, people don't seem to know exactly where they are.
Pretty serious, eh?
With so many other markets on Waterloo Road, it's easy to be led astray.
But put it this way, if it's not over the road from the M2 Market, it's not the New Market.
And vice versa.
One faces the other. Got it? Good.
And if it's not packed with bundles of bargains, it definitely isn't either.
The New Market and the M2 Market, opposite each other on Waterloo Road, Blackpool.
It's the place to come, where shopping can be fun. The Newmarket, Waterloo Road.
I am Odin, Lord of Asgard, God of Midgard, and ruler of Valhalla, Hall of Silver and Gold in King William Street, Blackburn. I bring you my personal pledge that the reductions on my finest diamond jewellery are genuine offers with as much as 50% off. Diamond rings previously at £450 are now only £225. Call in soon to Valhalla, King William Street, Blackburn. I defy you to buy anywhere else.
Hello, Jean.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I ask you what your act consists of, what you're going to do at George's Hall?
Just what I'm doing now, stand on my hind legs and do it in front of an audience.
Oh, now, my husband said, what's that fella going to do?
Well, that's what he's going to do.
He said, before I start paying, he's big tight-fisted, you know.
Well, that's what he's going to do. I'm not a singer or a comedian or a juggler. I just stand there and say, all right, what do you want to talk about?
I thought it'd be a bit of a Robin Day, do I?
I don't think it'd be Robin Day, do. I will be wearing a dicky bow, but I won't be as good as him. And
no,
can't
but
expect
you'll be sat at the table, won't you?
No, I'll be stood up.
You'll be stood up?
I'll be stood at a microphone. You lot will be sat at the tables if you're there. And there'll be two gentlemen in the audience with radio microphones going round giving people the opportunity to speak.
Oh.
So you won't have to shout. There'll be a microphone available for you.
Oh. And it's how much?
£3.50.
£3.50. Yeah, well.
Cheap at half the price.
Well, it is, yeah. Can I ask you another question?
Go on.
Yeah. Could you do Ian Coote's job? I know you do some same thing, you know.
I don't know is the answer to that.
You don't know? No.
I wouldn't have the patience that Ian's got.
No. That's why I was wondering, because he's a lot of patience, hasn't he?
He has, yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't... You see, Ian is doing an entirely different job. For those that don't know, Ian Cook presents He presents AM on BBC Radio Lancashire, and that's their morning programme, obviously, hence the title AM. And round about 11 o'clock, they have a 3/4 of an hour phone-in. And it's not as all-consuming as this one, I think is the easiest way of explaining it. It's more of a debate programme, a straightforward thing, although they do occasionally have lost dogs and rabbits on.
Yeah.
But it's more a serious discussion of what's going on, whereas we have all of it, serious discussion, and the idiots as well, including what the pig in hell Boxing Day is all about. so ours is more all-encompassing, as it were.
Did you ever settle it, though, you know? I know you said you we hadn't to mention that cat flap. No. You know, that poor old woman, you know, was asked first. I mean, she's had all these answers. Well,
I know she's had about 30 answers. She's probably hung herself.
I bet she has.
She had too much, topped herself in the lobby.
I bet she's passing a cat top herself. Ta-ra!
OK, ta-ra, Jean.
Ta-ra.
We'll see you on the 16th of February at King George's Hall. How do, Julie?
Good morning, Alan.
Morning.
A P45 query. I worked 1982 part-time and received unemployment benefit until 1983. And then September 1985, I had a letter from the tax office saying I owed £275 because I hadn't paid tax on my unemployment money. Do I, or should I, have received a P45 from the unemployment office? I have no check of what I received because there were gyro checks and they were thrown away. So I can't really check on the money I had for this 275.
Well, the answer's dead easy. No, you don't get a P45 off the dole office. You get that off your employer when you leave.
I see, yes.
Whether there is a separate form, I very much doubt it, to be honest.
Yes.
It's a matter of keeping your own records.
As I say, it's just you paid in gyro check and they're handed in. And
You must have income from elsewhere.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So during the time you were receiving unemployment benefit, you had income.
Yes, I was paying tax. But I'd just like to be able to check on this 275. But they're very kind. They're stopping it over 2 years until 1987. So
I don't know whether we define that as kind, but it's it's kinder than taking it off you in one lump.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Julie.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye now. Our next caller is Paul, and he'll be with us after the break.
It's Broadbent and Boothroyd's Silly Sale Day this Saturday, with crazy bargains in all departments. You'll be silly if you miss this sale at Broadbent and Boothroyd's of Southport this Saturday.
Vaughan's Classic Hampers require agents for 1986. Top commission paid, and each agent gets a free hamper. Telephone Vaughan's Classic Hampers on Wigan 35835. That's 35835.
Are you thinking of visiting Tenerife this year? Bispam Travel Centre actually own their own apartments in the luxurious development of Parque Santiago in Playa de las Americas. As we sell through our own ABTA-bonded travel agency, we can offer these holidays at considerable savings on normal prices. We even include convenient day flights from Manchester. Contact Bispam Travel Centre for a truly luxurious apartment holiday at an ordinary price. For a copy of our brochure, phone Blackpool 58971. That's Blackpool 58971.
Now showing Robin Ross 2, the sequel. Just as you thought of staying in next Monday night, Robin Ross returns to the halfway house on the A6 between Preston and Chorley.
Alice has just told me that you do get a P45 from the Dole office now, so thank you very much for that information, Alice, and that will stop everybody ringing in and correcting me, thus proving that even Allan Beswick is not quite infallible. So, Julie, if you're still listening, apparently you do now get a P45 from the National Insurance. Perhaps you need to ask them why you didn't. How do to somebody called Paul? Hello, Paul. Are you going to talk to us, Paul?
Hello.
Oh, good.
Got cut off for a minute there.
No, you didn't. You're with us now.
Oh, right. About a year ago, I was beat up. Right. I got a broken nose and I've got a scar on my face. It's going to court pretty soon. Right. If the person that did it is found guilty, can I claim damages against them?
Yes.
Can I sue them? I also heard about some sort of compensation scheme that's been set up.
The Criminal Injuries Compensation Scheme.
Yeah, do you know anything about it?
I know that it is a scheme operated by the government to compensate the victims of crime.
Yeah.
The victims such as yourself. They don't replace any monetary loss, but they compensate for physical injury. So you could be entitled to something from them.
But, so I'd have to go and see a solicitor, that'd be the best.
No, you don't have to see a solicitor to claim for criminal injuries compensation. You merely need to contact the Criminal Injuries Compensation Board and get an application form and fill it in.
Yeah, so I can deal with it myself.
Yeah.
Right. Does boggart, is boggart a word for a very nasty person?
It's a word for... It's a jocular word for someone who is jocularly being described as a nasty person.
Oh, well, that's not them. Okay.
Ta-ra. I'll do, Kitty.
Hello, Alan.
Hello. Will you turn your radio off, Kitty? Because we can hear me almost as loud as we can hear you. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. There was a young man talking to you earlier on in your programme about his flat.
Yes.
And he mentioned that must have been during his absence that the landlord had entered his flat. And you said that a landlord wasn't allowed to enter anybody's flat without their knowledge. Well, my husband and I, we lived in a flat. And...
Kitty, your radio's still on.
Turn it off. Off.
There.
Yeah. As I said, my husband and I lived in a furnished flat some years ago. And quite a few times while we were out, the landlady had entered our flat. Well, we made enquiries about this, and were told that by law she was entitled to enter it, as it was her property.
The answer to the question is yes, she is entitled to enter the accommodation, but she is only entitled to do it at a reasonable hour. Was your landlady on the premises?
On the premises, yes.
She was on the premises?
Yes.
By that I mean, did she live in the same building?
Yes, she did.
That's the difference.
Oh, is it?
A resident landlord is entitled to rather more than a non-resident landlord.
Oh, I see.
The rules are different. Okay.
Only I thought perhaps the law had changed since we lived in it.
It may well have changed since you lived in it. I don't know. I don't know when you lived in it. But a resident landlord is entitled to do an awful lot more than a non-resident landlord.
I see. I just wanted to tell you also that I'm a mother of 10. I'm a Scouser. I'm proud of it.
Good on you.
Thank you.
All right. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
I don't know how you did it, but you obviously liked it. How do Marie?
Hello.
Marie?
Hello.
Is your name Marie?
No, Danny.
Danny?
Hi.
Hello, Danny.
All right, Alan. I've got a bit of a problem. I got a letter, you see.
Well, receiving a letter isn't a problem. I get about 100 a day.
No, it was off the police, saying that I've been found guilty in my absence in court.
And? Danny...
Yeah?
I don't know whether you're deaf, stupid, or both. You may well have just heard me telling Marie, no, Kitty, sorry, to turn off her radio. It applies to you also. Turn off your radio.
I haven't got radio here, Alan.
Danny, you're a liar, an idiot, and a pillock. Good night.
During the last few days of the Nigel Home Sale, we have some superb final reductions.
I did promise you a belated melodic moment, and here it comes.
Red Rose Radio. Around the clock.
Back to the lines, and there is a very short time, 29 minutes, of this programme left. If you wish to join us on the phone in, the number is Preston 561,000, but the lines are all engaged and will probably remain so until the end of the show. They have done every other night. I don't feel any reason why tonight should be any different. What people are doing, staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning, is beyond me. I'm doing it for money. Why they do it is for them to decide. How do Brenda?
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Brenda.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm up because I'm listening to you, actually. Boxing Day.
Oh, Brenda.
It, right? It's confirmed in the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Hey, we were told... We've been misled. Who was it told us it didn't?
It is. It's not actually in the Britannica itself. It's in the dictionaries.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it does actually say what the other gentleman said. It is a day when presents were given to employees. So I think that's what he said, more or less. Isn't
That's more or less what he said, as you remarked.
And it is confirmed in Britannica.
Right then. Smart as out.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers. Brenda, who's now got a hump on her back from hugging about all these dirty great books. Never mind. How do Peter?
Hello.
Hello.
It's about this cat flap.
We're not talking about cat flaps.
Why not?
We've done it. There is no new thought on cat flaps. Say good night.
I've just looked it up.
I don't care.
Night, good night.
Good night. Cat flaps have been banned. Watch out, watch out. There's a Humphrey about. How do Humphrey? I see. Thank you very much, Humphrey. Next time you fall downstairs, don't wear your iron leg. How do Mark?
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, I'd like to raise an issue with you.
Raise an issue?
Yeah, well, you know the new proposals that are apparently going to come law about the rates, whereas, you know, like everyone now pays a rate depending on how much they earn. Well, they're going to bring in the poll, aren't they? And
everybody pays rates on how much they earn?
Well, depends on how much they earn and where they live, etc.
It's got nothing to do with how much they earn.
Well, it depends on where you live. Depends on how much you earn. I mean, you can't live in some of the better areas if you don't earn the money. So both it depends upon each other, aren't they?
Mark, no, they're not.
Well,
you do not, Mark. Rates do not equate in any way, shape or form to your income.
Well, do you relate to where you live then?
They relate to the rateable value of your house, yes.
Yeah, which is all depends on how much you can earn.
The value of the house, in a very rough way, depends on how much you can earn. The value of my house doesn't equate out. You would expect somebody with the income that my wife and I have to live in a far more expensive house than we do. So your theory is just that, a theory.
All right, that's just a theory. But what I'm saying is, the new proposals that are coming in, what they're going to do is they're going to put a poll tax, I believe, on everyone. So everyone is going to pay a set amount, no matter...
Well, that is not yet a firm proposal.
It's a proposal.
Well, no, it's not yet a firm proposal. It is a discussion point at the moment.
Well, I'd like to say I think it's disgusting myself. I'll tell you why I think it's disgusting. Because there's people in this country who are living on a very, very, very low income. Why should they have to pay the same amount as someone who can afford it better? Some of the people who are much more in the business.
Well, there's a very simple answer to that, Mark. We have in this country a system of rate rebates to people on low income. And so, at the moment, the system of rate rebates to people on low income would subsidise those who can ill afford to pay whatever the rates on their home are, as set by their local authority.
But is the real reason is that the Tories are looking after themselves?
You may think that if you wish.
Well, that's what I believe. I believe that the Tories have been brought in by the back...
Allow me to tell you, Mike, that local authority, this is a general rule of thumb. There are exceptions to every rule, and there are exceptions to this one. But generally, Tory local authorities charge less rates...
Because you get less services.
Yes, but they get less services. They charge less rates. Not because the areas in Tory local authorities are cheap and nasty areas. They're actually usually quite expensive areas. And yet they charge less rates.
Well, you haven't got
so your suggestion that rates equate to income is nonsense. Rates equate, as you rightly say, to services. Yes?
Okay, yeah.
Excellent. Now, if we have a poll tax, and for those that don't know, a poll tax is a standard fee for everybody.
Yeah, so if you're a millionaire, you pay the same as a pauper. Well, that's not right, is it? Why should you have to pay to live in a democracy? Part of living in a democracy is that you can vote. And you've got to pay for that right to vote. Well, not now, but in the future time, you will have to pay purely to vote.
You're not making any sense at all now. I don't understand how you equate the franchise, the right to vote, with rates.
Well, that's what it is. Everyone on the electoral list, the electoral list.
The electoral register.
Yeah, they're going to have to pay a set amount, aren't they?
People who are on the electoral register may well have to pay nothing at all.
Depends on if they're unemployed.
No, not depending on that at all. The rate, the householder, the person responsible for the hereditament, as it's called, is the person who pays the rates. But of course, there are more than one adult in most houses, and indeed often there are children, and none of those people are liable to pay rates. So the majority of people on the electoral register are under no financial obligation whatsoever. So again, you're talking nonsense.
Maybe I'm just misunderstanding what I'm reading.
That may well be so.
Another thing, a gentleman called up earlier before, and he was a heroin addict, I believe. Or he said he was an addict.
Indeed.
And he said he didn't know where to look. Well, a few friends of mine, they've just started going to acupuncture centre in Liverpool. If you tell them to get in contact with Liverpool Social Services and get them to give them an address, and that'll probably help them.
Okay, thank you for that, Mark.
According to everyone who's been on, it's supposed to be great.
Okay, thanks very much.
Cheers.
From one needle to another, it would seem.
Price Busters by Blackpool Tower is closing down. Everything must go by Saturday, January the 11th. Price Busters reopens Good Friday, March the 28th. Meanwhile, everything reduced with rock-bottom prices to clear stocks by next Saturday at Price Busters.
It's Broadbent and Boothroyd's Silly Sale Day this Saturday, with crazy bargains in all departments. You'll be silly if you miss this sale at Broadbent and Boothroyd's of Southport this Saturday.
Now that you've spent pounds on everyone else, why not treat yourself to a new TV, hi-fi or video from Goodrides of Preston and Southport? We've been saving our best offers of the season for our unrepeatable sale, starting December the 27th for a limited period only. So whether it's good sounds you're after or a microwave, it must be Goodrides for a good deal at the right price. 1 Friargate, Preston and Lord Street close to Debenhams, Southport.
Find out about buying a property in sunny Spain with London Spanish Developments, one of the country's leading Spanish property specialists. They have a superb range of apartments, pueblo houses and villas in and around Marbella. Visit our exhibition this Thursday at the Pembroke Hotel, North Promenade, Blackpool, and see our photographs and videos and discuss your requirements with the experts. Inspection flights arranged every weekend. So call in between 12 noon and 8 p.m. on Thursday at the Pembroke Hotel, North Promenade, Blackpool, or phone your local agent, Offshore Property Developments, on Southport 48272.
Now showing Robin Wright 2, the sequel. Just as you thought of staying in next Monday night, Robin Ross returns to the halfway house on the A6 between Preston and Chorley.
Robin who? How do, Darryl?
Hello, Alan. I wonder if you could give me some advice, please. My girlfriend bought me a pair of trainers for Christmas. When she took them home, she found out that they were split. So she took them back to the sports shop, and they said to her, we can't change them and give you your money back. You'll have to give them him for Christmas, and he'll have to wear them and bring them back after New Year. So when I went back with them, I said, like, that my girlfriend got them and all this, and you told me to wear them and bring them back. And they said, oh, sorry, we can't change them because you've been wearing them. So what could I do about that?
There are two problems. The first one is that you can't do anything because you didn't buy them.
Yeah.
The only person that can do anything is your girlfriend. She's the only one that has a contract with the shop.
Yeah.
And she can actually sue them.
Sue them?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Oh, do you still eat mice, boys?
Yeah.
I'll have to send you one of them fun-sized bags.
Excellent. All in favour of that.
Right, see you, Alan.
Cheers, ta-ra. How do, George?
Hello, Alan.
Yep.
I'd like to talk about dogs.
Go on.
Well, I built a dog flat for my St. Bernard, but it didn't know how to use it. So. No. And the pointer from next door pointed the way to it. And a setter sat about him, and he had a fight. So when I went into the house, all the neighbours was in. I said to the wife, what are they doing here?
She said they've come through the
Well, I got in the flat. To give them collie for tea.
Get off! Give him collie for tea. Behave. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Alan. At the risk of pulling your hair out, may I give you my theory about Boxing Day?
Oh, Fred, go on.
It's lost in the realms of time. It goes back centuries, just before my time. And it was the first market day after Christmas Day, or the first trading day.
Yeah.
When alms boxes were set up in public places all over the country to receive alms for the benefit of the poor.
And that's it?
That's it.
That's not dissimilar to our very first answer, who said that it was the day when the collection boxes in churches were emptied.
Nothing to do with churches.
Well, the almsmen, I know, but it's similar, isn't it?
Could be revived, and perhaps I'd qualify for a quid or two.
Well, so would I.
No, you, nay, with your tax and what you're earning, you must go on your own Trident submarine, you know.
I've never got one. I wish I did have one, and then I could abandon it.
You'll get it in your bath.
Well, there's lots of room in my bath. There's no tell slopping the water about.
It's just a bit of useless information I picked up at school, yonks years ago.
Right then, Fred. You seem to have a lot of that, Fred.
Well, the only reference book I ever had, the wife threw it away years ago. It had too many names and telephone numbers in it.
Right. Cheers, ta-ra. How do, Dave?
How do, Alan? I've got the perfect solution for cat door.
We're not doing cat doors. Cat doors are over. It doesn't matter. They're over. Finito, benito, meow.
Over an hour.
It don't matter. Over.
Come on, please.
No,
It's
sorry.
brilliant, honest.
Cat
You'll love
flaps.
it.
Finished.
You'll love it.
Oh, don't matter. Finished. We've got to have rules in life, and this is one of them. Write to me and tell me. All right?
Oh, you've really upset me, now.
Well, you have a good cry. Ta-ra.
What's your address?
Red Rose Radio, P.O. Box 301, Preston, PR11YE. How do... Who? Anne. Oh, it's you.
I'm laughing so much about those other guys.
Good.
No, Alan, I phoned you last week. Now, don't get on my accent. Remember I phoned you about the Americans?
Yes.
But why I'm phoning you is, after that phone call, I tried to phone you back, by the way, the radio station. But a little girl phoned afterwards and said, why did you get on to me? And actually, I thought you were quite nice to me. Do you remember we were talking about Americans?
Yeah.
And I thought you were quite nice.
Well, it was a mistake, probably.
I know. Now, look, hon.
Go on.
No, don't hang up on me and me, because I'm laughing. You're
Go on,
right.
go on.
Okay. You know what? Honestly, you're better than Robin Day.
Robin Day?
No, I heard that other lady earlier.
He can't breathe, that's all that's wrong with Robin Day. I think Robin Day is brilliant.
Do you wear a bow tie, hon?
Not all the time. It gets mouldy in the bath.
Look, hon.
But yes, I do wear bow ties.
No, I'm so scared you're going to hang up on me. You know. No, it took me an hour to get through to you.
I know, it's not easy.
I know, hon. I know. But look,
You should keep calling me hun. I sound like a German.
I sound like a German.
No, I do. That's what we used to call the Germans, you know, the hun.
I know. Hey, look, I'm Welsh, actually.
You're Welsh.
What do I sound like over the phone?
You don't really want to know that, Anne.
Oh, I don't sound American, do I?
Oh, worse than that, love. Worse than that. You sound potty. God.
No, I've still got my British passport.
Have you? Set fire to it, love. It's not worth a light.
Hey, look, hon. I always hung on
Go
to
again.
that. I always hung on to my passport.
Hang on to your victuals. That's what counts.
No, I'm laughing so much, and I was going to ask you a serious question, actually.
Oh, well,
Really?
you'll have to try again.
No, before you hang up on me, though, I want to tell you something. All right? But if you don't want to answer these questions, fair enough. But before you hang up, I do want to say something to you, hon.
Go on, then.
I'm an old woman, hon. I'm 50.
Well, that's all right. Don't worry. They're not burying you yet. Go on.
I know, I'm barely aching. My husband's around the North Sea
Deaf as a
making money
post.
for me at the moment.
Deaf as a
But look,
Go on.
I know. No, you're so funny. Goodness. You know what? I've got to tell you this. It was my little neighbour down the road. He's in his 70s, and he said to me, he said, Anne, he said, do you ever listen to this guy on the radio? And that's why I listen to you. Anyway, look, what do you think of this, all right, you don't like asking questions, actually, though, do you?
Go on.
But, all right, Heseltine.
Oh, Tarzan.
What's his name? Is it
Tarzan.
Hessel?
Michael Heseltine, yeah.
Yeah, you know the guy in...
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Defence Minister.
that's it.
Yeah, wants to buy an helicopter or something.
Don't you think he's right?
I've no idea, to be honest.
Europe.
I've no idea.
All right. Fair enough, hon.
I honestly don't think it's anything to do with him. Just like I don't think it's anything to do with Thatcher or Kinnock or any of the other
But I think
politicians.
it'd be better to keep it, because I know I sound a very American, not maybe on the phone, but I'm not really an American and I've lived there. Don't give things to the Americans. And look, now, you know what I told you about the other day, and I'm still upset about this, about this president they've got now. My daughter phoned me from Texas tonight. And I said, what's your president doing over there, hon? But he's going to put us in war, isn't he?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time he's done it. He quite likes it, because it's not him that goes, and it doesn't matter if he gets killed, it's only knocking a fortnight off. Anyway, Anne, nice talking to you once again.
Look,
Give my regards to the little old man down the road.
hang on, can I just tell you something?
As long as you take less than 20 seconds.
All right, well, you don't like compliments, but I think you're great, hon.
Thank you very much.
All right.
How do, Iris?
Hi, Alan.
How do?
On the subject of Boxing Day, unfortunately,
Go on.
I'm prepared to accept all the reasons for why, or the origination of Boxing Day.
Yeah.
But I think certainly in the last 20 or so years, Boxing Day surely must be obvious to everyone who goes shopping just after Christmas.
Go on.
It's the day that the people put back in boxes all those horrible presents that have been given and take them back.
Trying to rewrap the shirt.
You know, like the chain stores.
Yes.
And surely all the broken and damaged.
That's it. Trying to get a shirt back in the bag. Have you ever tried it?
Yeah.
Those shirts that you see on the shelves in Marks and Spencer's and Owen Owens, they don't fit in them bags.
Well, it's not so bad getting the shirt back in the box. It's getting the pins back in them little...
Oh, for heaven's sake. I've started gluing them. That's the way to do it. Never mind with the pins, because they never unwrap it. Glue it on, it'll be all right.
Yeah. Most people must spend Boxing Day putting the stuff back in the boxes.
Probably right.
Go round the shops. All people are doing in between Christmas and New Year are exchanging and getting the money back.
That's right. More power to the elbow. Anyway, Harris, thanks very much. Cheers. Ta-ra. Ron, you're next. In fact, we've only got 2 left, but we've got a break before then.
A far, far better furniture store.
Edmondson's of Blackburn, a far, far better furniture store. For lounge, dining room and bedroom furniture, for famous names in quality carpets, for all home furnishings. Edmondson's offers choice. Edmondson's gives first-class service, and Edmondson's guarantees value for money. All round a far, far better furniture store at Darwin Street, Blackburn.
A far, far better furniture store. Edmondson's.
Blinking heck, Dave, why don't you get a decent radio to match this flash car?
Well, that one cost an arm and a leg, but it's never been much good.
Yeah, you need to contact West Horton Car Radio, mate. They've got superb systems by Blaupunkt and Panasonic, such as the Blaupunkt Miran, which will fit for under 100 quid, including the aerial and speakers. Hey, and they've got the Blaupunkt E-Stock range at less than half the normal price. None of this distortion like with one of them.
Blaupunkt what?
Blaupunkt. It's German, ain't it? I thought you were supposed to be brainy. Hey, you can also get electric windows, vehicle alarms and car phones fitted by West Horton Car Radio.
So find the right station with West Horton Car Radio, Church Street, West Horton. Phone West Horton 814-229 before you crack up.
I forgot his name again. Ron. How do Ron?
How do you do? I've never talked to the furniture store before, which I just have now. However, what it is, I forgot to tell you before about our cat. She's the only stupid cat in the country. She's so stupid she had her tail cut off by a motor car. But she has a flat cap. And every time she goes through her cat flap, her flat cap gets knocked off.
Yes, get her to go through the St Bernard flap.
I'll do
because that's much higher, and it won't get a cap.
I'll do that.
Cheers, Ron.
No, thanks.
I'll do Les.
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
Here's a little bit of advice for all your listeners.
Go on.
Be kind to the animals, be honest, and pay your debts, and you can't go far wrong. And here's a thought for the day. If animals believed in the devil, I think they would picture him as a human being.
Hey, Les, that's not bad.
It's not, is it?
I reckon you might be right there.
Right.
Mind you, I think about the devil a lot, and all the ones I think of are human beings, most of them driving Jags and running this place. However, that's another story. Let's hope he's asleep.
You said it.
Cheers.
All right.
Ta-ra. David Maker, if you're listening, I never said that.
It's the place to come where shopping can be fun.
Traders at the New Market and the M2 Market have a little something to clear up. You see, people don't seem to know exactly where they are. Pretty serious, eh? With so many other markets on Waterloo Road, it's easy to be led astray.
But put it this way, if it's not over the road from the M2 Market, it's not the New Market.
And vice versa.
One faces the other. Got it? Good.
And if it's not packed with bundles of bargains, it definitely isn't either.
The New Market and the M2 Market, opposite each other on Waterloo Road, Blackpool.
It's the place to come where shopping can be fun. The New Market, Waterloo Road.
The phone in is over. For you, the war is over. We used to say that in all the comic books, didn't it? For you, the war is over, British dog. Okay, hun. Sounds like Anne again. Anyway, that's it for the phone-in tonight. Another 8 minutes of the programme. I'm going to play you some tunes. Well, they help you breathe more easily. Or if you're doing what I wish I was doing, they help you breathe more easily. Well, it depends on the music. Danny Young and Give Me a Second Chance. I can tell you, I'm usually finished after the first go.
Price Busters by Blackpool Tower is closing down. Everything must go by Saturday, January the 11th. Price Busters reopens Good Friday, March the 28th. Meanwhile, everything reduced with rock-bottom prices to clear stocks by next Saturday at Price Busters.
Red Rose Radio 97.3 Stereo.
Julian Lennon with yet another song that should be subtitled I Don't Half Sing Like Me Dad. Me dead dad at that. Because taken from the musical Time that I'm told is sold out.
That I should care about you.
Don't forget, if you want to case the face this weekend. What a jocular term. Case the face, eh? Oh boy, I'm hip. But I'm going to be at the VHF video store in Rufford Road, Southport or Crossens, depending on where you draw the line. And that's this coming Saturday at 2 o'clock. On Sunday the 26th of January, I'm going to be doing Argue with Allan at 9 o'clock at night at Rumours in Blackpool. That's members only. And then on Saturday, the 15th of February, we're doing Argue with Allan Beswick at Large, live on stage. King George's Hall in Blackburn. Tickets $3.50 on sale now. And tomorrow I'm going to be at a YTS group in Preston. I'm also going to be here tomorrow at 10. Till then, ta-ra!
Red Rose Radio.
The 2 o'clock news, this is Bill Bingham. President Reagan has backed up his trade boycott against Libya by freezing its assets in the United States. And he's appealing to America's allies to support him with their own economic sanctions. But the governments of Western Europe, including Britain, appear to be unanimous in rejecting the call. Mr. Reagan says Libya's Colonel Gaddafi should be made an outcast until he stops supporting world terrorism.